That's a wrap.
Yeah, everything okay over there, Chad?
Yeah, I think so.
Are we rolling? Am I on film?
You are on yeah.
Yeah. Camera 1.
Yeah.
Camera 2. Camera
We're good.
3.
We're good. We're good.
Camera.
You're good.
Just 1, 2, 3.
We good?
1. Wait, probably that's 1 over there because he's the boss. When it comes to the casting of the pods.
Yeah.
Sup, pods?
SlapperCast, episode number 76.
Podner. Yeah, don't sound so excited
The
about
spirit
it,
of
Chad.
76, y'all.
Little few technical hurdles today, but everything's fine now. Thanks to Eric graciously loaning us the use of his phone. He's filming himself with his phone right now. It's
That's nothing egotistical about that at all.
It's like a very, very long selfie.
It's the
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Long selfie.
So what's new, kids?
God, everything and nothing. We have to, first of all, before we do anything, we have to thank everybody for tuning in on Friday. And what a great fun time that was, recording that. That was, we met Jason Yu. If you tuned in, you noticed that there was a lot of camera work and a lot of different angles and new formats in the way the video was executed. That was all our friend Jason Yu, who's going to be we're going to be meeting with today, speaking about a video.
Mm-hmm.
Blaggards are going to shoot the very first video, and but back to the Friday thing, we had met Jason, and Jason's a local. He's a Houstonian, and we had met him. We've all known. Actually, Eric's worked with him many times before.
I have.
And we've met him at many of the Continental shows. He's a local musician. He's also he works audio for Root Sports. He does the Astros and the Rockets game. Houston Astros, Houston Rockets, and that's all there really is, isn't there? Isn't there actually nothing else? So he's
There was a soccer team, right?
was there the Dynamo?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay.
I don't know if he works for them or not.
He
He works for Root Sports,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
yeah.
You just
Are
say
they
that?
on Roots?
I
We'll
don't
have to
think
look
so.
that up. Over to you in the studio, Chuck.
Chuck.
So we met him, and he came out and he did it just to kind of get a feel for the band and check out some new gear that he had purchased, and was incredibly hard worker. Just never stopped. I mean, he worked harder than all of us put together on that time, and the connection wasn't the best, but you can tell in the final product what a just wonderful product, what job he did on the shooting of the video.
And that's going to be better next time. We just we got so close up to the start time that we didn't have time to kind of figure out.
Yeah, we had 2 full hours of setting everything up, and the PA gets set up in no time, but we also have to change all the settings of the instruments because we have Jason coming in doing the taping, and he wants the sound right and blah blah blah. So it was very fun, and again, everybody's generosity just blew us away. We're so grateful and so just delighted to have everybody watching. It was great to read all the comments yesterday, and excuse me, really looking forward to shooting a video as well. But and also big thanks to Keith for again at A&A Supplies for just graciously clearing out the way and cooling down the warehouse and just letting us play there anytime. He was adamant about coming back often.
Yeah.
And vociferous about
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And that place is for sale, by the way.
it is.
$3 million.
You gonna buy it?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's wow. What a huge warehouse. Do you know the square footage on it?
I don't. It's something like, because it's that lot and it's the lot across the street where the parking is.
Yes.
And I think I can't remember how much.
Yeah, if you're looking for a warehouse, this is right off Interstate 45 and practically Main Street and 45, and center of the world as far as we're concerned in Houston, Texas, and it's
It's a nice, big property.
Sturdy building. I mean, we've played in it a few times now. We haven't even chipped a brick.
That's one of 3 warehouses on that lot. He's got 3 warehouses on that lot, and we play in the front one. There's 2 more in the back, plus the brick building where he lives.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
a lot of land, a lot of property,
and to open it up to us all the time, anytime is so generous. So we're especially grateful to Keith, and like I said, everybody for tuning in. What a night we saw all our friends. We saw Jeff's family up, and we had dedicated songs to Jeff's family up in Canada and New Brunswick, and actually we also want to say happy birthday to Kathy Duncan. It's her birthday today. It's not this Tuesday. It's a couple of days ago, but we're on time. You're not, just so you know. So happy birthday, Kathy Duncan. We love you.
21.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. And what a coincidence. Podcast number 21. Wow. Yeah. Here you Chad's like, stop my head. Yeah. That's all I got. Back to you, Chuck.
Chad. We have no questions.
So the one thing that Bob did send me was he sent me, and I can't access it now because my phone is being used for better purposes, but he did say, he sent me a list of things that happened in the music world from 16 years ago when Blaggards was first formed.
Oh, wow.
And the only thing that I can remember off the top of my head that stuck out was that was the year that not only did the New England Patriots win a Super Bowl again, but that was the infamous wardrobe malfunction with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
16 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was last year.
It's every year in this mind.
Yeah. Mind you, I haven't watched one Super Bowl ever. So
it's a lot to take in.
Yeah. We did play that block party one time for the when the Super Bowl was in Houston. We played practically on the doorstep of the.
Which one? The most recent one?
Yeah,
2015.
Yeah, was it 15? How do you
or
know
2016?
16. That's
the Oldies band played that one too.
Did you?
We played down at the Discovery Green.
Oh, we
Fox Sports had a big, huge thing down there. We played.
Was that when we were across the street from Leon's in that parking lot? Okay.
The Serpent and the Cobra.
It might have been
right. Huh?
I don't know. That wasn't 4 years ago, was it?
I don't know.
Sounds right.
They told
Keep
me
track
it
of
was
this
Super Bowl.
stuff. Come on.
Huh?
Because there's been at least 2 Super Bowls in that stadium.
There has?
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah. It's a nice stadium. Nice big stadium. Nice brand new stadium. At least it was when not the Rockets, the Texans got started there.
Oh, I thought there was only one.
I think they've had
gesture
2.
at me for sports stuff.
Come on, Chad, come on. You're the sport guy.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Oldies band
he's
got
a water
asked.
sports guy. He's not.
Oldies band got asked to play it, and we played basically the last set before the game started. So there was still a bunch of people there, but they were all starting to go off to their various watch parties. And in fact, my buddy Lance Smith and his gal Allison wanted to come down and watch us, and they weren't letting him in the park. They said,
was Lance wasn't involved in Party in the Plaza many moons ago, was he?
No.
How do I know Lance?
Well, Lance Smith plays guitar for Mike Stinson.
That's where I know that. Okay,
I
there's
think I
another
mentioned
Lance
him before. Yeah.
Okay,
different Lance maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so we were playing at like 4 or something like that, and the game was going to start at 5:30 or whatever. So we were going to play right up till 5, and they were like, you can't come in the park. Everyone's leaving to go watch the game, and people still want to come in and watch the Oldies, of course. And they're like, no, you can't come in. They're like, what the fuck? Why? Because they wanted to close the park down so they could tear down the Fox Sports or just keep people out of there so that they weren't bothering them during the game. Because I think they were going to go to the stadium, and they wanted to tear down that stage that was up there.
Very interesting.
Interesting. Weird. Anyway, so that's that Super Bowl with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake was 16 years ago.
Wow.
When you guys first formed. Yeah. Wacky.
Yeah. Super Bowl. What a dumb name for a sporting event.
Yeah, I don't know why they call them bowl games. I don't even know why.
No idea.
Like the college thing had been happening for a long, long time before. Like up north, that the Cotton Bowl. Why is it a bowl? I mean, because the stadium is shaped like a bowl.
That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Maybe it's dumb.
Yeah.
I like sports, but not this year. I'm just kind of like, don't play. Just don't.
You know,
play.
I haven't. I used to have
Don't
ESPN on my phone and just just constantly. I have not looked at it. 2020, not once.
You don't need to.
Nope, don't care. And speaking of 2020, so we're we last week we were back in the studio again, and this stuff is actually we said it's been taking shape. Well, unbeknownst to Chad and Eric, last week I decided to throw another one on the record, on a new song. So we're probably one or two.
One or two?
Yeah.
Didn't we even play two?
We did do two. One the one that I wasn't crazy about is kind of changed a little bit for the sake of the record, because it's but anyway, so I think what we should do is, and we were talking briefly before the camera started rolling, we were talking briefly about getting debuting some of these songs, and possibly setting up another live stream with Keith and Jason, if he'll come back, if we can lure him back. So we're thinking about it. So actually, I don't think we should think about it. I think we should just do it.
Yeah.
I think so I think that if you're checking out any of our sites, just keep an eye out for that. We're going to announce a date and a time, and we're going to debut some new songs for you. And we got a whole bunch of stuff that it's just really hard for big mouths to keep shut about. So we're going to have a couple of announcements coming up here pretty soon that I'm very excited about. And I keep in my head going so fast. I've taken up, and we were talking about this earlier too, I've taken up getting up early, which means before 11, 10.
What defines Patrick's early?
Yeah, that's 10 a.m. is early.
Is it?
But now 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. I've been getting up and running before the heat starts.
Well, I think the more important question is, what time do you go to bed?
It's the same time, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
See, okay.
But the difference in and also we were talking about last week, fasting. Mm. So I'm doing I only eat between 12 and 6, or it's 12 and 7 because I'm late night.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and
that's a big chunk of time.
But you can eat what you want. I've just dropped a ton of weight. I decided to wear my my yoga pants for the show on last Friday, and Kelly Hunter was on there going, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" He's Kelly Hunter's a good friend of ours. He's the head guy. He's the leader of this Segway group. They ride around with the little helmets.
Wait. He rides a Segway and is giving you shit about your pants?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And really interesting, Kelly.
He grinds that thing out. Is
he out there grinding?
See if we get another spike in the stats now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Kelly did what now?
Yeah, so he really, he gets the top speed out of that thing, out of that Segway. He's just, and he wears the colors too. He's got the the leather vest and, the cool Oakley sunglasses, and he goes top speeds of, 8 miles an hour on these Segway things. He's completely savage. And, anyway, so his,
besides the 8 mile an hour thing, I can't tell how much of this is actually serious.
There's none of it serious. I was giving him hell for good. I should never. I have no business wearing what looked like yoga pants. But the truth is, my jeans are falling. Just the weights come off, so the jeans they all look like, it looks like a mom jean convention again.
Pants you wore on Friday?
Those
for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but without sounding, but you did look very skinny in those pants.
I'm very, very. I got skinny legs anyway, but the running, I can't stop running. I don't know what the hell it is. Every day.
What are you eating?
What am I eating?
Between 12 and 7, what do you eat? You say whatever, but there's got to be.
Well, yesterday was I had steak yesterday and salad and.
All that pizza gone?
No, it's going to the trash. It's just
Too much.
yeah,
It's good though.
yeah.
I had a Star Pizza in a long time.
Star Pizza, good. So Houston, go support our friends over at Star Pizza. Wonderful crew and Buffalo Brewery. Why do I love Buffalo Brewery so much? Their food's fantastic. I know some good friends that work there, and great food, incredible food. I'm sure. Have you had the beer from there?
Oh yeah,
You?
yeah,
You're not a beer drinker, but do you like it?
yeah. They're great. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got a really nice series of what do they call the bomber bottles?
Yeah,
Or those things are called the
growlers.
growlers. Yeah, whatever they call. Those are some really good. They have a thin mint stout. It's one of my favorites. It's seasonal.
Sorry?
Thin mint stout.
That's why I don't like beer.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff I'm glad you like it. I'm sure it's delicious.
Our friend Kim Elson, who we've spoken about on the show before, he was actually a cameraman for the Rockets and the Astros for forever. Worked for Fox Sports. Kim introduced me to Ramiro, his friend, and he's a brew meister or whatever over at Buffalo.
Nice.
So
cool.
The food's good though.
food's incredible.
Are you eating there?
No, never been there.
Okay.
Yeah, food's incredible. If you're in Houston or the surrounding areas, I highly recommend that their burgers are great, chicken sandwiches are great. They're just, but it's a little off the, it's regular food, but it's just they have their own twist on it. Really good stuff, and like I say, when I'm old enough, I'm gonna try one of their beers. But as it goes for right now, I'm just gonna. And also the best view. They're right by where the old rice mills were here, and just up the street from here.
Are they over here?
Yeah, Sawyer. And they have their
Oh, I know
second
exactly
and
where
third
that
floor.
is. And they look right to
Downtown.
the city. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Right
know
across the
where it
tracks over at downtown.
Yep.
Incredible view. If you're gonna take your old man, your old lady out for a night, that's the place to go. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, so big fan of that place. And but yeah, so back to this daytime crap. And the other thing I didn't know about was people are into this stuff. These morning people they're friendly. Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. When I say, hey, slow down. I just woke up. I'm liable to.
It's before all the shit of the day is landing in their laps, and
Yeah.
so there's still the brightness and the promise of a new day, and guess what? It's the same fucking thing all over again until they get home. So it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Chat about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get up. There's something about getting up early. I mean, we've been getting up early a bit, 7:30, a little bit earlier than we normally do, like you, and kind of going out and doing the exercise thing before it gets too warm, and have a couple cups of coffee, and you read the news, and you look up. It's like, oh, it's only 8:45. Wow, the whole day's ahead of us.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Not a goddamn thing.
It is. I'm telling you. But it's. I mean the routine's forming. The routine is. Are you still completely off kilter? You still?
I'm semi-nocturnal, yeah. I've been waking up, falling asleep around anywhere from 4 to 6 a.m. Waking up around noon or before noon sometimes, which is better than, sometimes my schedule tends to drift a lot. If I don't have to be anywhere at a particular time of day, it'll just drift. And sometimes it'll go later, I'll be up and up and up. And I'm highly, highly prone to insomnia, which is something that Patrick and I have related on many times. Like just one little thing can throw me off, and I won't be able to sleep. So whenever my schedule gets like this, it's really difficult for me to get back, move it, skew more towards daylight.
Get you on those CBD gummies like I take. Sleep like a fucking rock.
I've heard good things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust that shit.
It was funny last fall when the last time we went to Ireland, because of the jet lag. When I came home, I just suddenly found myself on a morning schedule. And I managed to stay there for like 3 or 4 months. I was like, this is great. But it didn't last, obviously. But I'm trying to skew it more. There's no reason for me to be on a Blaggard sleep schedule right now because, we're not gigging. We're not driving home from Austin, at 4 or 5 in the morning anymore. Right. So, but it's tricky. I don't mind. I've always been a night owl, though. That's kind of just in my DNA.
Yeah, me too. The trick to you is make sure you get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can, lately, with going to bed late and waking up early, Well, the thing with the exercise too, you don't need as much sleep.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, I just you're talking about.
I found that should be true as well.
Yeah, but the other thing is too, like when you're falling asleep. Well, in the past, falling asleep, you said that the smallest thing can knock you off that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and I woke up in the middle of the night, had one of those falling feelings, and you when you supposedly land, you jolt yourself out of the sleep, and boy, I couldn't get back to bed. I was about 4 a.m, and I'd only gone to bed about 1.
I hate that.
And I got up at 4, and so I had to get up.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I could do because the heart's going and the mind's going, and
that's the worst. Like it's like
dead sleep too.
And I wish I'm never able to sync this. Like when your body's just completely exhausted, like, oh yes, I need to sleep. That when I have that feeling, it's never when I need it to be. Right. It'll be like you say, like earlier in the evening. And I was like, oh God, I got to lie down. I can't sleep right now, but I have to. And it'd be nice if I could just sleep through the night. But no, you wake up 2 hours later. Yeah. Your brain's like, okay, what are we gonna do now? I was like, you're gonna keep sleeping. No, come on. God damn it.
Welcome to the So This Is 50 podcast.
God, this has been my story of my life since I was a teenager.
Yeah, but the when you're on the road, I was thinking about this the other day too, is because that Sweet 16 deals with, anyway, that to be continued. When you're just dead tired, you play a show and you drive as far as you can to get to the next one, and you sleep in this crappy hotel that's nowhere in sight of where your van and all your gear is. And you lie down, you're just about to hit, and then your mind starts going and I can't see the van, I better go check on it. Or, just every single thing goes through your mind. You just don't sleep. So you back up the next day and you're groggy and you're driving and you're angry, and then and it's sometimes 2-3 weeks of that. And it's just miserable. I understand too, the Lemmy spoke about, how much speed they used to do, and but then you realize too when you get past a certain age how important sleep is, how important the hours are, and I just couldn't imagine with that amount of speed and alcohol and their touring schedule. I always say that it definitely is easier on them, even with all that stuff, because they're not loading their own gear. They're not lumping their own gear. I mean, we're setting up PAs every single night and carrying it in and carrying it out and carrying on. So
they can actually sleep in the bus or whatever. Which we're luxury.
Yeah, we don't. And my unwillingness to let the wheel go, just because I can drive for hours without blinking. Yeah. It's difficult then to because you just don't want to stop before the next until you have to.
And also the biggest problem you have too in the van. Well, one of the problems is that there's no place in the van, any of the vans we've had, where you've been able to actually lie down. Yeah, because you're so tall. Yeah. And the other problem, I remember the first time we had a van, it wasn't Deirdre, it was one of the rental vans we got from PV Rentals here in Houston when we drove up to the East Coast. And I remember you were kind of excited about having some time off from driving. Yeah, because we had 2 full benches. Yeah. But number one, you couldn't fit on. Yeah. You went in the back one, which I think was longer. Yeah. But so you lie down, and I think Brian Vogel was driving, and I was sitting on the other bench. And I know you'd been probably driving for one of your 13, 14 hour stretches, so you really needed a rest. And I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I see this motion behind me, and you're just sitting straight up with your sunglasses on. I look at you, and you're like, what's the matter? Can't sleep. Yeah. You just couldn't shut your mind off.
No, but the other thing is too, that was what I remember it distinctly. We were in Georgia when I gave the wheel up, and I remember lying there, and as you're sleeping, because you've seen nothing but the road for 12, 13, 14, whatever it was, and then when you lie down and the van starts taking a different direction that you have in your mind, then you're the van's going off a cliff or something. So no point in trying to sleep. Give me the wheel. Yeah,
I can sleep anywhere. Yeah, at any time.
But is this a drummer thing? Because all the drummers I've known have been the same way. James Edwards, Mike McAloon, and you. Yeah, you can just sleep whenever you want. This is a gift that Patrick and I do not have.
Yeah, and we wish we did. If I can get myself comfortable enough, I'll put my head down, and I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
Not for hours and hours, but I'll definitely get a couple winks in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nothing wrong with that.
Love it. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I remember James was notorious for doing that. He would fall asleep. Not only could he fall asleep at any time, he could fall asleep anywhere, like standing straight up or sitting.
I can't do that, but
he would fall asleep in the chair and just be like slumped over to one side in the van.
Yeah.
There's one time we're fixing to leave. And to be fair, James was working a business and playing in the band at the same time. So he was a hardworking guy. But we just finished playing at Fido in Austin one time, and he was just sitting on the bench outside the pub and said, "Man, I'm going to fall asleep before we get to Bastrop." And I said, "You're going to fall asleep before you get off that bench." It's like, what? And I came back a few minutes later, and I'm sure he passed out.
He's the homeless guy on the bench. He's the drummer.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's taxing. It's taxing work, being a drummer.
Yeah, it's a job.
Yeah.
So what is the secret? How are you able to do that, to fall asleep?
I think I have a relaxed personality, and usually between 3 and 6 is the prime napping hours in my book. Between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. is the prime time to get a nap, and usually about that time I'm just like, I feel kind of got all the stuff in the morning done. You finish lunch, you got all your afternoon stuff done, then it's time to relax. And usually that's about the time I'm just like, I'm going to just check out for a second. So.
Bob Hope swore up and down that was the secret to his longevity.
Napping?
Yes.
Huh.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
I haven't taken a nap in a long time.
Well, you haven't been working either.
I haven't been working either. So, yeah. But I think the last road trip that I took with the Derailers, which I think was September maybe, when we drove up to New Mexico, a lot of napping.
Yeah.
Because it was just Basil drives. He's kind of like you. Basil it's his van.
Yeah.
And he just drove all the way up and he drove all the way back. Nobody else. You want me to drive? No, I got it. Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. I mean, but there's no point. If you're, like I say, every time you stop, you're losing time, you're losing your miles, you're losing, so you just keep going until you have to stop for gas, stretch your legs, and back and do it again. I love it. I mean, I love the road for that. I love that. It's different too when you're driving in, East Texas, trying to get out of, into Louisiana. God, it says, just forgotten land. It's awful, and then, but at least, when you get into Georgia and stuff like that, there's sites and there's.
Well, just getting out of Texas is always a chore.
Yeah.
Obviously going east from here is not too bad, but going north or west, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to get out of here?
I love the desert. I desert.
I think it's great, but it's still like, we've only got 6 more hours to go.
Yeah, what is it, 9 hours to El Paso from here or something like that?
12.
12?
12.
I mean...
Yeah, I remember getting to San Antonio because we left at night one time, or
it's about 2.5, 3 to San Antonio.
We could be all the way in Missouri in 12 hours if we go north, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Past it. But I remember being in San Antonio thinking to myself, like, I'm tired already.
Yeah.
And then getting past it. And then once you get past the hill country and it starts to get more desolate and then just bleak and then desert, which I love, but you can only take so many hours of that crap. Then you start coming into the mountains in El Paso and you see that it really lights you up again. It just gets you.
Yeah.
Gets you back.
But between San Antonio and El Paso, I mean, obviously there's Ozona and Sonora and Fort Stockton. I mean, those are the places you got to make sure, look at your gas gauge and be like, okay, we need to stop.
Yeah.
We have half a tank. We got to stop.
We still got to fill up. Yeah.
Because it's just nothing out that way.
Yeah. I took my kids out to Big Bend a few years back and that was one of the things too. We took the car. I didn't take the van. But, it was not just breathtaking sights. However, you make sure you got gas in here. And our friend Jeff Cohen called me and he goes, make sure you got a case of water in the back and your first aid kit and all that stuff. All right, would not have thought of that.
Yeah, I mean it's not like traveling Route 66 in the 50s, but it's still you want to make sure and I'm sure someone would come and help you out, but it's still just desolate enough to make you kind of think, what would happen? It actually happened first time I went out there to play oldies band out in Marfa for David when David still was working at Padres.
Yes.
Alan Hill ran out of gas.
Oh no.
Yeah, we took a couple of us took different cars because we had different plans or whatever.
He didn't have gas in his fanny pack?
No gas in the fanny pack.
No gas, no fanny pack.
Yeah, and that was
Maybe you should have worn it in the back.
maybe.
Gas, no. So
But-
David Beebe of L Orbit's fame in Marfa, and he booked the
oldies band to play. We did a Friday night at Railroad Blues in Alpine, and then we did a Saturday night at Padres in Marfa.
We stayed in Alpine when I took the kids out there.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
it's a neat little town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite was the Starlight Cafe in just outside of Big Bend. What's that ghost town out there?
Terlingua?
Yeah, Terlingua, thank you.
But the coffee was a marathon, I think you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
In a hotel, and it was a Houstonian trained barista
Yeah.
that lit me up.
Yeah. It's definitely weird out there.
Yeah.
All that is just like just a whole different country, a different world out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that coffee table book. I'm serious. We're gonna have to do a coffee table picture book of our travels.
Sure.
Because we're going back out there. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one again. That was just La Kiva. We want to play at La Kiva and Starlight. When we go back to Terlingua.
I haven't been to Big Bend since I was a kid. I think the last time I was there was with my dad. We used to go to hike up to the window.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing I remember about that place. We would camp there in that valley, whatever that place is called, or the basin. I can't remember what it's called, where the window is. And then that hike from the camping area to the window is actually quite a haul. It's like a lot further than you. At least I remember it being pretty far as a kid. But that was stunning. Have you been there? You know what the window is? Yeah.
I don't. Well, my idea of camping is room service and air conditioning and showers, and so camping tent's not my thing. But we did. So I stayed with that. We rented a cabin, myself and my kids, and I was just telling this story. So I decided to go for like a run / hike. It was right by the mountain, right beside the park there in Big Bend. So I just start running up the mountain, and next thing I know, I'm at the top of it.
Oh yeah,
gone for hours, just no water, no nothing, just running gear, and didn't realize that I hadn't mentioned to the kids that I might be gone for a while. I didn't think I was gonna. I just thought I was gonna do a little run, run for an hour, but it's the desert. And there's bears and there's snakes and there's all kinds of stuff. And so I make it to the top of this mountain and come back down. And actually coming down was the hardest part, believe it or not, which I was not, because I'm not equipped for thinking of that stuff. So anyway, I make it back down. The kids had already called the park ranger. They were terrified. They thought that I'd been,
You did that too in Vegas a couple of years ago. We were out there. It was somewhere. It wasn't the usual. I think it was Red Rocks, but it was a different area of Red Rocks that we hadn't walked in before. And we were all walking together, and Mike and Wes and I got distracted by this huge rock off to the side, so we're taking pictures of it. And you just kept going, and pretty soon I realized that we didn't know where you were. And I think like an hour went by before, because there was no connectivity out there. It was like it would come and it would come and then it would go away again. And so I kept walking up and and trying to see if I could get some connectivity. And I texted you, "Hey, you okay? Where are you?" And eventually a text came back, said, "But can't walk, out of water. Help." Just joking. And eventually you reappeared. But yeah, there's something about those desert landscapes that just I draws you in.
Yeah. I did the same thing in Santa Fe too, around up a mountain, no water. And the people would stop. It was a hiking trail. And it was pretty steep climb, but they'd stop and they go, "Are you okay? Do you want some water?" And I say, "No, I'm good. What's wrong with you?" And I'm not human when it comes to that, but I guess the Houston running has got me acclimatized anyway but I'm gonna maybe do one of those Death Valley runs.
Wow.
Eric said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, fuck that. I can't drive 26 miles without getting tired.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Nice.
Yeah, so the touring, we're not going to be doing that for a while.
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
So I guess we can threaten all we want. Yeah, we're going to do a coffee table book of all our tours.
Of all our tours, that may happen.
Yeah, this one is of the.
This one's Patrick's living room.
Yeah, this is the
And
coffee
this is
shop.
Patrick's living room from a different angle.
Yeah, in Santa Fe and Santa Fe, Texas. Yeah.
It reminds me, I was just watching the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I was about to ask you
last
about
night.
that.
Yeah. Because Ennio Morricone just died recently.
Yep.
And the guy who did the famous soundtrack to that film. I didn't know he did the Untouchables too. He
Did not know that.
He did hundreds of soundtracks. I mean, he was incredibly prolific.
He's done a bunch.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd ever actually watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly all the way through.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird because I know it's one of those things that's so iconic that even if you haven't seen the movie, you know, because there's people reference it all the time. I can do it.
Oh, that sounded just like it.
Yeah.
That sounded just like it. You nailed it. Oh, was there Clint?
Too fucking early for me.
That was such a landmark movie, just a huge moment in time for those pictures. I mean, I watched that movie whenever it came out. I was extremely young, but it blew my mind. It changed the way. I mean, the format, the scenery, the camera angles, the music, everything about it changed my way of looking at movies. It was just it's so incredible, kind of like The Godfather. The Godfather to me was it wasn't that, it was just so intense to watch it. It was just that the intensity followed you for days and months afterwards, and there were so many scenes that just kept replaying in my head. That was the same thing with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Pulp Fiction, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of latched onto you and became a part of your psyche nearly, and just replayed at different moments. And I just and actually you'll hear that the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You'll hear that we did that. We haven't broken into that song yet because it's changed. But we have that song that we call Blaggards.
Yes.
That was our, that was a
That's our spaghetti western.
Yes.
Song, yeah.
Yeah, and there were then so many songs have come from that, just that feel that because that Irish music and that Latin music, there's many points where they cross, and it doesn't have to be musically or rhythmically or so. There's just there's a similarity, and there's places where these songs just can gel together so well. It's and I found it in many of the tunes that I've written, many of the songs that come to my head have got that kind of a Celtic and a
like a western kind of feel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what do you think of the movie, Chad?
I love it. I haven't finished it, the whole thing.
Oh God damn it!
I know. This is my
had 2 days.
This is my bad habit at home. Is I'll be working on something and I have to have the TV on while I'm working because somehow it helps me focus. But at the same time, I can't focus on what I'm. It's like my mind is in a bunch of different places at once.
Have you ever tried cocaine?
I would. My head would probably explode.
Well, I think that's what you're doing. I think you're doing is cocaine light with your. With the TV going and working on stuff. Because I've seen you work on stuff where you can be engrossed in it and not, unbudgeable. But that's to me
something about it just gets too quiet sometimes. Like it's too quiet. I gotta have something on, and then I'll get in a certain frame of mind where like shut up, and I'll mute the TV. I gotta focus on this, and then sometimes I gotta have it on. Depends on what kind of work it is, I guess. But anyway, so I'll start watching a movie and I'll be sitting watching it, and then I'll be like, oh wait, what about this? And I can't. I've talked about that before on the show. It's really hard for me to just focus on relaxing and watching something.
Man, there's so many.
I've gotten so bad.
So many nuances about that movie.
Yeah,
that you just need to catch.
Well, that's what I'll do is I'll keep winding it back. It's like shit, So
it's like either a piece of dialogue or just the way somebody moves or something like that. And understanding. Anyway, it's.
See, okay, now you said Untouchables and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Untouchables to me was so dated so fast. I don't know what it. It was very Hollywood and very sugar coated and very just unbelievable in so many parts.
So you mentioned Ennio Morricone, the soundtrack for that movie, and to me, it's the soundtrack that makes it dated.
Yeah.
Because it's all synthesizers and very very kind
I'll
of.
give you that, but I'll also give you this.
The Untouchables says?
Yeah.
I thought that's the one with the snare.
Yeah, but it's like a drum machine.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, but it just sounds like the music doesn't fit the era. Not that it's supposed to, doesn't necessarily need to, but it's just because it sounded so.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It sounds
but I
more
also
like
have to say,
a Bond film or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No,
Well,
but,
that main theme. Da-da-da-da, do-do-do-do-do-do. It's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but to me, it just sounds.
I
But it
get
also
that, yeah.
Kevin Costner and Sean Connery were very unbelievable.
I thought Sean Connery's character was believable, being a Irish Chicago policeman. Yes, Kevin Costner though.
He's too.
I don't like Kevin Costner.
I've seen stuff where he's all right. Kevin, call me. It's gonna be okay.
The movie where he plays he plays the pitcher, and he's like the washed up pitcher, and he ends up throwing a no hitter at the end of it.
Field of Dreams.
No, even in that one, he just doesn't seem believable to me. But anyway, I do like the movie Untouchables just because Brian De Palma directed it, and the action I think is good. And
I thought Andy Garcia was good.
However,
the movie became dated quickly. The movie, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, didn't ever deteriorate. Pulp Fiction, same thing. Godfather, same thing. Just because
well, I mean, Untouchables is not even anywhere near that.
Yeah, I know.
As far as I mean, it's a fun story and it's a fun movie to watch.
Yes.
But no, I can totally see the dated part of it too.
Yeah. And movies that become dated. I haven't been to a movie in so long. Obviously, they're close, but I haven't been to see a movie for so long because it has to be. It just has to be epic. It has to be
something important.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially the way tickets prices are these days.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I mean, it's inside the one down the street. It used to be in the Bayou Theater.
Oh no, it used to be. Had a funny name.
Sundance
to it.
Or
yeah, it was like an indie.
Kind
of what River Oaks was, but with more screens.
Yes.
The one in the Bayou Center where the Hard Rock Cafe is.
It was Sundance for a while, and it
started off as the Angelica.
Angelica,
that's right.
Yeah. So
now it's AMC. I think.
AMC, but they still show some other show an interesting movie there.
Yeah, but that's a great theater. It's a nice little cafe and restaurant. And, it's a comfortable theater.
Well, it was great,
but they then became.
AMC.
But before that, I thought it was reasonably priced. It was just crappy having to park across the street underground, validate your park and all that stuff. It's just.
I went to go see No Country for Old Men there on a Sunday noon showing, and it was it had been a few weeks, if not a few months after that movie came out, and I was the only one in the theater, the only person in the theater. And I got a little bit creeped out, especially when Anton Chigurh starts walking around with his little can of air and busting people's heads open and stuff like that. And I had read the book.
Yes.
The book was, speaking of that, I just bought I bought 4 Cormac McCarthy books. I bought the Border Trilogy, which is All the Pretty Horses, The Crossing, and the third one, and I bought The Blood Meridian because I wanted some light reading. And if you know Cormac's writing, it's fucking brutal. It is brutal, like violent and bloody, and
I like it.
And The Blood Meridian is about Texas in the 1850s, I think, and about them Indians and fighting and on the border.
Love it.
In Mexico. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Love that stuff.
Yeah.
Were we on tour when we saw No Country for Old Men?
I know. I think it was Austin. It wasn't on tour.
Yeah, I just remember that you and I saw it.
Well, maybe it's Philly.
It might have been Philly. Yeah,
but brilliant movie.
Yeah, that
movie will never die. It will never grow old.
That one, and I watched that one in the theater. But then also that same year, I watched There Will Be Blood.
Oh yeah,
with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Good God, can that guy ever calm down? That guy is
I think he retired finally. I think he said he's going to retire. He's just like, it takes too much out of me to play these characters.
Finally.
Because he puts himself into the character. So much so, and There Will Be Blood, apparently the guy that was supposed to play the preacher character, Eli, he couldn't hang with Daniel Day-Lewis because Daniel Day-Lewis was
that guy?
Daniel Plainview,
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
Like walking like him and talking like him, and even when they're having lunch, he was still. And the guy was like, "This is fucking weird," and he couldn't handle it. So they got that Paul Dano kid to come in, who was fucking brilliant. I mean, Paul Dano, the guy that played Eli, the minister, was just. I thought he was great, really well done. Anyway, movies, No Country,
Yes. Movie review day. Welcome, SlapperCast episode. Take 2.
So now you got to, first of all, like we talked about this on Friday, you got to finish The Good and the
And
Bad.
the other
and
2
Ugly.
movies, right?
And you got to see the other 2,
Yeah.
A Fistful of Dollars and A Few Dollars More.
Okay.
And those 2 are the ones before. Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More. And we all talk about The Good and Bad and the Ugly, but these other 2 movies were done before, and they're awesome as well.
Yes.
But everybody knows The Good and the Bad and the Ugly because I think, it's got Lee Van Cleef and Eli Wallach. So it's got 3 main characters, major stars, maybe, I guess. I mean, those were all actors that were happening that were doing their stuff in America. And of course, Clint's cowboy movies after that, like High Plains Drifter is probably one of the best ones. Outlaw Josie Wales is a good one too.
That was the first one I ever saw.
Outlaw Josie Wales?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
And
a good
that
one.
movie
Hang 'em
stuff.
High is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But fucking High Plains Drifter is good.
I stopped being a Clint Eastwood fan because of his frugal. You could kind of tell that they kept the first take just to kind of keep it going, and the acting seemed thin. The
When he acts,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was a lot of corners cut. That's how it seemed to me. I'm not a Eastwood fan, but I certainly enjoyed that early stuff. I really enjoyed I think the Few Dollars More and I think it's Good, Bad, and the Ugly was the best.
Yeah.
Outlaw Josie Wales was also incredible.
But by then he was back in America
Yes.
making movies.
Yeah.
Those first 3, the spaghetti westerns, for lack of a better term, which are great. I mean, they're all great. And then don't forget Once Upon a Time in the West. That's the last big Sergio Leone western. That's awesome.
Which is where Mark Knopfler got that song title from, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
What still one of the best Dire Straits numbers.
Yeah, one of the things that really hit me when I was just watching the first few minutes of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, just you can see how broadly influential it's been through. I mean, obviously Quentin Tarantino borrowed a lot from that, just sort of the kitschy, where they keep throwing up the titles, the good, the bad, the ugly, throughout when they introduced those characters. It was kind of this pulp
But that didn't happen until like way into the movie. Way in the movie. But you're fairly well in, and all of a sudden it's like the good. Wow,
but it's kind of this playfully kitschy kind of thing that Quentin was so fond of. The other thing that really hit me, which I always associated at the beginning of Star Wars, borrows a lot from like Lawrence of Arabia and things like that. But that whole opening scene in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, where he goes to see, I guess he's a farmer, and they wind up having a really, really fast gunfight. It's just even the building and everything. It looks like Mos Eisley. The whole. Like basically like the first 30 minutes of Star Wars is basically The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in space.
Interesting.
I'd never realized how much Lucas got from that.
Have you watched the Akira Kurosawa movies?
No,
Fortress
no, I did see one of them. Yeah, that one is. I think I did see that one.
Those ones are the ones that
Obviously,
you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see all the Star Wars references.
He got most of the character, the character structure or whatever from those, but the setting,
and kind of the storyline too.
Yeah,
like
I heard the Beatles were supposed to do the soundtrack to that. You guys always sneak Star Wars.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The men were talking about Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go
Actually,
get
Chad was.
I'll go get you guys some Legos. You guys can play together after.
Okay. Are they Star Wars Legos?
Yeah. Of course.
Anywho.
Yeah, that's a whole nother game because I haven't seen a movie in so long. I can't sit and watch TV. I can't, I would go to a movie theater though. The Good, the Bad, I think that was the Good, the Bad, No Country for Old Men. That was just, insane how great that movie was. And I've always been a fan of Tommy Lee Jones, but he even rose to I mean, Javier Bardem and he were just
Yeah, and I'm not going to give away the ending, but it doesn't have a happy ending. I mean, it just ends.
It just ends, yeah.
It just ends. And that's kind of the one thing that I liked about that. And it's one of the few movies that I've seen where after reading the book and seeing the movie, it's exactly like the book.
Wow.
yeah.
I mean,
That's a rarity.
It's not like they change anything in the movie because they wanted to have this or that or the other thing. I mean, everything that you see in the movie is in the book.
Wow.
And just the I don't even know why I was thinking about because those Cormac McCarthy books showed up in the mail, and I looked and I read The Road, which is fucking brutal. I mean, just they made a movie about it, which was movie was okay, but the book was just like, oh my god, just like kind of the shape of things to come if you think about it.
Yeah,
so the world's kind of gone weird, like crazy, like it's like there's only a few people left, and people are scrounging, and it's like a post-apocalyptic kind of a thing. You don't know why the world has ended. But it's basically this father and this son, and they're trying to get to the seacoast or whatever, and it's just terrible. But it's powerful, but it's just like I mean terrible in the way that it's just like, oh my god, I would never want that to happen to anybody in my life. And then No Country for Old Men, just that character, Anton Chigurh, just that if you ever met a person like that in your life, I mean you may not live to tell the tale about it. But like that whole scene at the gas station where he's flipping the coin and the guy's like, call it. What am I calling for? Everything. And you think that guy is going to get his head, caved in. And then he wins, and you can see just the relief on his face because he understands what's about to happen, And that whole scene is just, again, little nuancy things where it's like he puts the quarter down, he eats the bag of peanuts, he leaves the wrapper on the thing. And the way he says about the quarter, he's like, this quarter's been traveling 25 years to come to this exact point, and now you have to call it. Okay, I'll call it heads. He's like, heads, well done. And he pushes the quarter to him, and he's like, don't put it in your pocket, sir. Don't put it in your pocket. It'd be mixed up with all the rest of those coins, which it is. It's like, what the fuck is he saying? But it's genius. I mean, that writing is just genius. It's like, don't mix up the quarter that just saved your life because it's not just a coin, although it is. And that kind of duality in that character is what carries him through that whole movie.
Yeah.
He thinks he's on this righteous quest to get that money back, and he'll do anything to get it. But he also has this kind of weird, like, what's the word I want? He has these rules. He has his own set of morals. Like, to finish this job, I have to eliminate this person, eliminate this person, eliminate that person. I don't have to, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
And for him, that's morally right. When it's just like, I gave you your money, let me go. Nope.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway.
That's
crazy.
That's a daily occurrence around here, boy.
Filmed in Del Rio, Texas, by the way. A little bit. David said that There Will Be Blood was filmed out on the outskirts of Marfa.
David who?
Beebe.
Okay.
Because they were all staying in Marfa at the time. And he said that the No Country was filmed more towards the Del Rio.
Yeah.
Because of that border crossing and stuff like that. When Josh Brolin like crawls into Mexico after the shootout and Mexico and gives a mariachi band standing over him $100. It's genius.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I know. I want to see it again.
I want to watch it. I want to go home and watch it now.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, a lot of these scenes I don't remember. I think I only saw it that one time.
Well, it's worth a second viewing.
It definitely is.
If you don't, on the computer.
Definitely is.
Editing down this ludicrous podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a twisty turvy podcast for sure.
Speaking of ludicrous, I did watch Spaceballs the other night too. Ludicrous Speed.
No idea what you're
kind of ridiculous.
Mel Brooks.
His take on Star Wars.
Yeah.
So apparently the deal, and I like this short because I know I'm boring everyone with my movie trivia, but like Mel Brooks, I don't know if it was him or his team approached George Lucas and said, hey, we're doing this movie. It's kind of mostly a parody on Star Wars. Is it cool? And George said, Yeah, it's cool. You just can't put out any merchandise for it, which sucks because it would be a fun kind of a thing. I'm sure you can buy a Spaceballs shirt somewhere now. But there's this whole scene in the middle where Yogurt opens up the store and it's got like the, Spaceballs a lunchbox, Spaceballs a breakfast cereal, Spaceballs a flamethrower, all that kind of shit.
Right.
But all that shit got thrown away because George said they couldn't use it.
Oh, jeez.
Well, anyway,
there you go.
I'm done talking for the day. Whoops.
Beatles were going to do the soundtrack for that too.
No, they weren't.
Oh,
although Bon Jovi's on it.
Really?
Yeah.
He's in the
now
movie?
I'll go see it.
Yeah.
Don't act like it ain't cool.
It's the scene where they're in the Winnebago, the very first time the Winnebago shows up, and John Candy's character is eating the dog food and dancing. It's a Bon Jovi song.
John Candy. That's why I didn't see it.
I don't know why you're dogging on John Candy, man.
I never liked
he's
him.
dead. I mean, what can you do?
Well, you could have a feast. You're into that kind of thing.
Yeah. I liked him on SCTV. I thought he was funny on SCTV.
Yeah.
Not familiar.
You never saw SCTV?
No.
Oh, God. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It was very. There really aren't a whole lot of comedy sketch shows I can think of that were like that because it was so in depth. Like they would have these continuing storylines.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
So it was all the Canadian guys. It was Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas, Catherine O'Hara. You know any of these people?
I know Rick Moranis. I'm not a fan. I know Catherine O'Hara. I like her.
Yeah. John Candy, Eugene Landy,
John Flair.
who's in Schitt's Creek, and
Eugene
he was in Best in Show.
Right.
Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a big fan of his.
Martin Short. You say
Martin Short, and
Don't
the
like
lady who was in a bunch of stuff. I can't think of what her name is now.
Shelley Long.
No.
Uptown.
Anyway, and it was.
I'll get it right one day, Shelley. Call me.
Joe Flaherty, who played Count Floyd, one of my favorite characters of all time. Oh, like the guy dressed like a vampire.
Was he grinding?
That would howl like a wolf. Oh, 3 House of Pancakes. Come on.
And it would come when I was a kid. It would come on NBC after David Letterman, I think, or maybe it was after Tom Snyder.
We had CBC, so we had the Canadian channels where I grew up.
Oh, okay.
So it would show up on there at any random moment.
So I think it was David Letterman, then Tom Snyder, and then SCTV. But anyway.
Whatever way it was, it sounds like a blast. That sounds.
And it was like an hour-long show too, wasn't it?
Chariots of Eggs. Remember that?
No.
When they're running down the beach with the egg in that game where you put the egg in a spoon, you try to run and not drop it. They did Chariots of Fire, but Chariots of Eggs. They're running down the beach. I think John Cougar Mellencamp was the guest on that one show. So stupid, but funny. Anyway, I got to stop talking.
Getting all liquored up on coffee and talking about nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
What's on tap for this week?
So what's on top of this? So we're gonna. I think we should nail those songs down, and then we'll figure out the date and debut. And I think what we should do is because of our wonderful Patreon crew. I think we should give them a little Sweet 16 clip. See if they dig it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just do a little 3-piece.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I can remember how to play it first.
It'll
I'll
come
check
to
my
you.
email. I don't recall getting a copy of it, but
Okay.
I'll just
Okay.
I'll ask.
And then also keep stay in touch with us if you will on our
And stay in touch with yourselves.
Yes. Oh, that sounds back after these commercial messages. We're gonna keep a hold of the social media crap and all that stuff because we're gonna as soon as we nail down what we're gonna do with Jason, we're gonna have some video. We're gonna make a video, maybe 2, maybe 3. We'll see. We have some time, and we're gonna do that. And then also, I don't know if we mentioned this on the show before, but I was looking at the stats on our Spotify and Pandora and all that stuff, and it's just mind numbing how these numbers are growing. So if you're listening to us on Pandora or Spotify or any of those, thank you.
Yeah.
That's just been it's. The last number I can remember was something like 115,000 new listeners on I think it was Spotify a few months ago, and these numbers just keep climbing and climbing and climbing, and we're so grateful for anybody sharing this stuff or listening to this stuff or doing whatever. It's we can't thank you enough. We're going to put some new stuff out now, and hopefully you like that as well. But just that was something that's just been. I've been recording. I think I told you last week. I've been Pandora lets you record these. We have to get you to do some as well.
Yeah.
Pandora lets you record these just the little blurbs that you can put on your channel. So before a song plays,
oh, cool.
A little message from the band. So I've been doing some of those. I did one for the last live stream. I'll be doing them now for this.
Excellent.
This upcoming and future podcasts and whatnot. But it's a great tool, and not a lot of people know that's a lot. Not a lot of bands know that this is available to them.
Yeah.
So we'll be putting that out, and for listening on all those places and telling your friends and stuff like that. Thank you very much. We're much obliged.
Yes.
Far out.
And we'll be going to have some video news here in a few minutes. We're getting ready to meet our friend Jason Yu and move on with this craziness.
Yeah. I think we may have Jeff Duncan on the show soon.
Yeah. Jeff
maybe next
week.
Oh,
yeah.
I think next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Jeff Duncan, our fiddle player, who's never really been an official member of the band, but pretty much is at this point.
He's the secret weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a secret weapon.
So we've got a lot of stories to tell with him because he's known us for a long time.
Yes, and it's his mother, Kathy, that had her birthday. It's today, but it's today.
It's also today.
Happy birthday, Kathy. We love you.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging on there.
Thanks for indulging us,
I don't know what the hell we
Patrick.
talked about. There was no script this week,
Hey, that's the best way.
as usual.
Yeah.
All right.
Dig it. See y'all. Thanks.